archangels, ghosts, and Bigfoot. Oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girls. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only Supernatural Girls.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girls. I am your host, Patricia Baker. I'm here with my co-host, Miss PK, all the way from Tucson. How are you tonight?
Absolutely fantastic. Can't wait for our guest tonight. Everybody's got questions, that's for sure.
We've got questions. He's got answers. He's also still got this great book out there, you know.
Yes.
Realized Light of
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
Dimensions. I think we have it with a graphic that can be used also, Bill. So if you want to put it up.
Good. Very good.
Yes, it's a great book. And we had Josh on before.
Mm-hmm.
Dazzled us with his knowledge and reading. So we had to bring him back, of course.
Definitely.
Yes. But before we bring him on, tell us what's going on.
Well, let's face it. May is a month of major changes. Good to bad, bad to good. But because it works as it does have a luck factor that goes with it. So that everything that's done this month is going to be done with speed. Everything's in a hurry. Making major changes can be exhilarating, but they could also be exhausting because if for a real quick fix, we can't slow ourselves down. It is a great time if you want to gamble on something. Never hurts. You never know what you're going to get. Maybe a little something. It could be $5. It could be $500. But it's certainly worth taking a chance on.
Yes.
Speeding along on things, that's where you have to pay a little attention because everything, as I said, is about speed, quick, space, etc., which means motorcycle, car accidents per se. Running down a flight of stairs, you can find out you're going to make it a quick trip down without your feet hitting the steps. It's about everything being speed. So start paying attention to what you're dealing with. And know that if you allow yourself to create a bit of space, even though everything's in a hurry, you may save yourself from having an accident.
Yeah.
But think of the terms 5 has a luck factor that goes with it. So if you're someplace and they've got a little lottery thing going on, never hurts to give it a try. If it's for a buck or two, what the heck?
It's worth it, right?
Oh, yeah.
You end up a multimillionaire.
You're kidding me. Could I do that? Others can. The only time I ever won anything in my life, when my husband was in college, everything was hair bone down to the nubs. I won a freezer full of food. They're so excited by college students, but it was a couple of days before we were leaving to going back home for student teaching.
Gosh.
So we gave it to the mother for Mother's Day.
Oh, well, that's nice.
So you get and you give, but
that's right. Wonderful. It's good to win. Very good to win. So tonight we have Joshua Reichmann with us, and I'm so glad he's here because, yes, we've had a lot of people call in with questions. We don't have a phone line active. I apologize. It's not my fault. But we asked, we begged, but there was no phone line available. So for your questions for Joshua tonight, you can post them in the chat, and we will ask them on your behalf. And you get your answers. So we have some people who contacted us ahead of time and gave us questions. And of course, we always have our own questions. So anyways, it's great to have Josh with us. Josh, welcome to the show.
Good to be back. I just remember now I'm it's my job to feel. That's what we do as psychic intuitives. And I'm feeling our last meeting and all the pieces are rushing back. So it's nice to be back with both of you. I'm getting the big imprints there. And some of the people already who've submitted questions are already coming through. I really like doing these. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Now you had a big move. You were over where, in Greece, and then moved back to Texas?
It's been a lot of movement. Yeah, I'm back in Canada now.
Oh, you're in Canada? Okay.
Yeah, I was in Austin, Texas for a little while, and in Spain before that. and now back in my home country and in outside of the city in Ontario, in the countryside. Yeah, Canada.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Like you've got a motto, feet don't fail me now, huh?
Well, it's exhausting and amazing, but yes, yeah.
Wow. Because I remember your time in Spain. You were in an absolutely lovely area.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it was
Right?
majorly beautiful. It's been a beautiful, I mean, like a lot of people's experiences now heading into this era, things move fast. Like the sine wave is fast. So you can be somewhere beautiful and you can be churning and moving through dark internal spaces. You can be in a beautiful internal space and find yourself in a less than idyllic environment. It's just because the sine wave in this higher register era means things more quickly. So you don't have 10 years of processing and then somewhere new emerges. It's fast. And that's been like, I'm in the same boat. So yeah, it was nice though. Yeah.
Really?
That's good.
Gosh.
That's good.
Yeah. There's so much going on all at once, it seems.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're sure?
Yeah.
So what about you, PK? You ready to start with your reading?
Well, I'd love to have mine first. I'm a little piggy. I want mine first.
So what are we doing? You want to jump right in?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, the big ones that come up are, and you said the number 5, and that would be energetically, there's something going on that should be moved. We could move it right now if you touch the words that I'm about to say, which would be clinging to the past. And we're going to move through that and just say that understanding, sort of a really weird mix of understanding that, like it doesn't take long. We're all very fast now. So you already understand what I'm saying about that one thing, whatever came to mind, the visual, I can see what it is. It's just an energy. It's got a drain to it. You have the understanding already. You don't need insight, meditation, psychotherapeutic language, right? So look at that thing. So now awareness around it, there's a little suppression around that. Let's move that. You know what's funny? You flip it and you get what's called success. So the clinging to the past, the inversion is success. So literally, if you just go, okay, fine, I'm clinging to that thing, and you know what that thing is, and that very specific thing has to do with a little bit of guilt, and it's like tearing your hair out. You don't admit it. It's fine. We all have a million of those little ones, micro moments, right? But the main one that haunts and comes back, what I'm suggesting is energetically, that's a 5, clinging to the past. Flip it, and the minute you do, it could be right now, you go, it's like forgiveness, patience, just acceptance, whatever the alchemy you want to do this moment. Like you're loved. It's all good. Let God come in. However we do this. Yeah, everyone does it their own way. Success. So this is funny. So this is at the tip of your reading. At the forefront is if you just turn this one, success is fascinating. It doesn't mean peace. It doesn't mean equanimity. It doesn't mean wisdom. Success. So something that you've been looking at, you're like, I wish this thing would just work. Why can't I get more of this happening? Why doesn't this come in? That's the exact thing that clicks. So, it's not me saying it, but the energy says, turn the coin. And the other side is success, like I said. So that's really beautiful. And I would just go with that. And okay, so then the method for that, you have a method, is playfulness, because there's it's a really funny alchemical mix here. So the solution is a weird mix of relaxed patience with playfulness. This is what Spirit is saying is like the medicine. So yeah, so I don't know if that resonates, but that is like, because we're always, a psychic reading is only good if it's giving you more freedom. Like I don't read, I don't want to read for people where it's like, where's the car keys, and then the car is broken or something. He didn't give you anything. Maybe just, maybe it always works out well. You trade your car in or whatever, but usually we want to get more evolution. So Spirit is saying instant evolution is turn that coin. And success in the case of what Spirit says for you on that coin is opportunity. Possibilities is the word that is coming in. Okay. It looks like a different kind of glyph for me, but that's what it translates to in English. So possibilities. You've not had enough possibilities lately. You like your possibilities currently. They feel pretty good. You're like, okay, I got enough. I accept. Let's not lie. You'd like some more possibilities. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, but I'm getting
that's sitting here wanting more.
I mean, some people are like, they're not ready. How about this? We all want things, but spirit says your energy body is ready for possibilities. That's different. Everyone says, I want to be a billionaire. Is your vessel big enough for $1 billion, currencies, whatever we say, or 1 billion loves or whatever, everyone's like, I want more love. It's like, well, you have to ready the vessel, which and then people go, well, what do you mean I'm not ready? And it's like, it's not your fault. None of us are perfect. We're all like misshaped in a billion ways for, the light of the cosmos to fill us up. But anyway, the good news is that playfulness mixed with a relaxation is the alchemy to turn the coin away from guilt and a little bit of suppression of one little piece, clinging to the past, flip it over, and you get possibilities. So that's very particular to you. You tell me when to stop on your reading and we'll keep going. But there's a whole bunch of details it can just go for hours. But what would you like to do?
Well, that's not fair to do to others, but I would, I'm dealing with some health issues that are driving me crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure whether to take the advice I'm given from doctors or take the advice I'm given from friends.
Yeah. So friendliness is the word that's in the air, which means friends. So the people who resonate with your heart system, which are your mandala of close people, not just ones you want them to be right, but the people who know you best and don't know you and admire you or are jealous of you. Those are evil eyes. Those are false friends. I'm talking about the people who really know you. Okay, they accept you fully. Maybe you have 2 of them. Maybe you have 1. Some people out there might have none currently. Some people have 10. No, nothing wrong with any of it. But whoever those are for you, they are your health advisors because they're going to see. So if they say, I don't think it's that. I think there's some cells in that area. It's not even that thing. That area is, oh my gosh, it's not immune system tissue stuff. It's just this, and you need, and then they're gonna know, they're gonna say it. Like we're not close, so I get a very subtle heart resonance because I'm a psychic. I'm not in your family. Trust in friendliness. Those are the words.
Good to know.
Yeah, that's the answer to that.
Thank you very, very much. Patricia, what are your questions for him?
Yeah, well, let me first get to Deborah's questions. Deborah has one question. And she was here last time, and I think she had the same question, but here it is. She would like to know about finding or receiving, however you want to phrase it, her partner. She would like to find her partner in life.
Okay. Well, her consciousness needs to expand, and stress is in the way. Okay. Stress restricts consciousness. We can't see, the aperture of our awareness gets smaller, and then our landscape is smaller. Now, people say, oh, if I just relax, I'll see the person. They turned out to be right next door. It's not that simple. If you open your consciousness, you may literally do different things through the day. The way, like we always think, oh, I'm making these choices. Oh, I just have to go there. So I have to go by 10 a.m. If you have a different state of perception because of an open consciousness, you go, I'm going to reschedule that because the priority starts to shift. Now I'm going at 12 and I end up somewhere different at 10 because my consciousness shifted. That's timeline shifting. That's upgrading your energy. That's moving into, people talk about dimensions. They're very subtle. You think you're in the same one, but wow, what a gift has just happened. Now at 10, amazing person came out of nowhere. They were tending to a horse and I didn't know I'd be near a horse. I had no idea. But there they are because I had to stop in the road and there's a horse. This is an example for Deborah. Deborah's her name, yeah?
Yes.
Saying that your consciousness will expand when stress is dissipated. If you want to talk about how to get rid of that, you're going to have to stop focusing on family and internal politics. What are politics? Politics create stress because they have binary systems, right and wrong. So whether she knows it or not, she may say, I don't care about politics. I'm beyond politics. I don't have any problem with my family. I'm cool. My clients say that, and it's absolutely not true. They're full of anger, resentment. They've been alienated. They tell me for 6 months I work with people. They say, I'm the special one. I don't really care about what my family think anymore. I'm magical. That's not true. And you got to get through it. Doesn't mean you relate to them, but you got to move through the politics to relieve the stress. Your consciousness will open, and the if partnership is your focus.
Right. That makes sense. Now, you're really an expert at helping people get rid of blocks. Do you sense a block within Deborah that is preventing?
Yeah. The block is two things. It's a sense of aloneness and being outside of something. So let me, Deborah, so this is just some language. You're not outside of anything. You're not outside of this conversation. You're not even the gainer of information here. We're all working together. You're not outside, right? You're not outside, you know? And that is, the aloneness is the block. Now, aloneness is like an entity, because it feeds on itself, right? Oh, I'm alone. Then you just do things to be alone then, because you feel alone. Now she may say, I'm not talking with Deborah. So Deborah, please take what you like, leave the rest, whatever resonates. This is just what's coming in, right? And it's coming in through a lot of filters, but I think it's pretty accurate. You're not alone. And that code where you felt outside, you were outside of the family, you're outside of an initial you were outside of a relationship, probably with someone important, like outside of the family unit, you know, mother or father, whatever. You felt outside. That's not true. That was a lie. Meaning that you felt that way. That's real. But you are included because you're allowed to be here. You have to give yourself permission more deeply that you are accepted. You're deeply accepted. That is the block.
How interesting. That is great, Josh. Thank you. I'm sure that Deborah will be listening to this and get a lot out of it. Okay, we have somebody in the chat who has a question. And the question is, what should I do about my employment?
So she needs, what's her name? A name, anything?
Well, it's just, all I have is the handle here. So crazy, it's cool.
It's okay. It's okay. It was so crazy. It's cool. Okay. So the main things that are happening are inside of the employment code, meaning like there's so many levels to go with this, but the frequency that is blocking that, creating an obstacle, creating a challenge, are projections, pre-existing conditioning, what you think work is, what it is currently, what it's supposed to be, has to change. It's very hard to do this one. And the intensity of which you're pushing. Okay, here's the antidote for this moment. It's like your whole frame of what vocation, work, currency, coming back, you know, exchange, work meaning my value. The obstacle is intensity. You're too intense about it, or it feels intense to you. So you're getting intensity back. Whether that's in a current workplace or you're unemployed, I'm getting kind of a mixture of the two. I'm getting a mix. I'm getting like I feel like I'm part of something, but you're like overly conditioned. It's like you're institutionalized. You may not say that. She may be like, or he may be like, she may be like, no way. But institutionalization is subtle. To rip it out of your life takes a lifetime after the first 4 years of our life. You know, so the conditioning will open new conditions. Get rid of those conditions, lower the intensity, and a lot of projections. It's like projecting needs, and it's creating a pushback from the cosmos.
Okay.
So far, that's what I get for that one, but I'd have to talk back and forth to go further. You
know?
Yeah,
exactly. I'll ask if she has any further questions on this topic or others.
Yeah.
Any further questions? So crazy. Okay, if you have any other questions, just type them in and we'll ask Josh on your behalf. This is great, Josh. You're amazing.
Definitely amazing. No, it's fun.
You're amazing, man.
Wow. Someone sent me a question to my website, if it's possible to talk about that individual, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead, because I'm still waiting for.
Okay.
So crazy.
It's a young man that has major health problems. It's really exhausting for him. He's emotionally stressed. And his birthday is May 11th. And he's had prostate cancer in the past. He's also had some lung issues with valley fever and such as that. And he's absolutely worn out and run down right now. And his birthday was just on this past Sunday. And can you give me any way to help him help himself?
Well, you're the astrologer, so you'd know about where we are with Scorpio moon and everything, and like the transmutation, and it's deadly, but is what not deadly. It's the shaking.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I understand that, it's a real, I don't, it's your language, but a lot of that's coming through for me, which is like this lifetime, this moment, this era, and I know it doesn't feel fresh for him, but something needs to be shed. Now, I want to be clear because this is recorded and I still reside in the physical world, and I ascribe to normal medicine. Like I'm into way out there medicine, and I'm also into normal crazy normal basic medicine. So please, this is not doctor's orders. I am just talking in the metaphysical realm. Yeah, I just have to be careful with that stuff. I don't generally do that, but there's something there's a tiredness there's something tired in the energy. So the tiredness, which is like waiting for solutions, this is the psychological component that will open up fresh energy so that shedding can be done with. The scorpionic energy means all this stuff is shedding, and gonna bloom into the bird and all that, but that could take lifetimes. Depending, have to read his chart and everything to know where he is right now, why this came in, why this health issue, and what house is going on, and why you'd come in that way, and this is important, right? People should know that stuff so that you don't feel bad. So you go, oh, okay, I had to deal with that this life. So something has to change in his life, and I think he'd know if I say that something has to change in your life in order to make you feel connected to the world. Okay, something has to change in your life in order to make you feel connected to the world. That is the psychic antidote. There's a okay, I'm gonna be brutal here, so please, spirit doesn't really care about our feelings, so let me say, from one human to this gentleman, like from one human to another, we're all sensitive. Like this is just spirit just gives answers. I would say, I don't know, take care of yourself, lots of love, hey man, nice to meet you. Spirit says you got to stop being, this is harsh with someone who's dealing with serious health issues, but I have serious health issues, so I'm going to put that out there, okay? Especially if you have spiritual power, which he does. But it's so covered in sadness, and he's hoarding, he's taking too much, and he's hoarding too much, and he's being too slow. It's kind of like lazy. Please don't get me wrong. I'm very careful. I do this stuff because people go, what are you talking about? And they feel hurt. And I didn't like that reading. But this is spirit trying to break that pattern so you're free. Medicine always hurts a little bit. You are part of the world. You were always part of the world. You were loved. You are loved. You will always be loved. You are part of the world. You're part of this world, and we are the world. All the humans. Like, come on, you know what I mean? So that's what spirit wants to say. But you got to stop. It's like the energy polarity of his psyche and body has to go out. It's so tragic. It's like an addict where they're like, "Help me!" It's like, the only way you're going to get help is if you start helping others. It's like, oh, because the disease rests in taking, like me. So that's coming through for him. Oh, also there's something fresh in his body that wants to explode, but it's being resisted. So there's a vitality that is being resisted. So this is always the case with sickness, right? Last thing I'll say is, like, he should see it this way to stay positive. The reason there's a sickness there is because something wants to get uncovered. And when it blooms, he could have extra if his body's too damaged, I don't know how that'll go, but very likely he could heal from anything. But it's about this he's got ripeness. There's ripeness. Like okay, I'll stop on him unless you want to go more, but I feel like he could do I'm getting a lot of energy from him.
Very helpful.
I'm getting a lot so I want to tell him that, like I just want to finish, like I'm getting a lot of energy from him, and I like his reading because he wants to hear the truth. And I can deliver the truth. Like, it's not me. I don't know, but like spirit is like Give him the truth and he will act on it, and he will shift, and the energy poles will shift. He needs to be invited. So I will say, as a psychic friend here for a moment, just a little friend on the internet, he is invited to let the ripening within blossom inside of himself, and his cells will start to go out of necrosis and go into proper expression. And that's just it's sort of like that. Yeah.
Good to know.
That's phenomenal. Gosh,
Yes.
I love it.
That'll make
like
him happy to know he has alternatives. I think sometimes you get to a stage, everything feels like it's coming in on you, that there's no alternative. So this is good.
This is
As
great.
usual,
Well, he can
Josh.
contact me, and we could do further working, or he should just know that he's part of the world, and that this shedding has to happen, but he has ripeness inside him. Ripeness is the word. So he'll have to figure out what
good.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you very much.
I've got
pass all this on to him. He'll get to listen to the replay later.
That's right.
Cool.
I've got the second question now from So Crazy. We were talking about her employment and what's going on there. And so she also asked, should she return to her old job?
No, something has to blossom. Yeah. That gives her a peace. That's funny because if she moves backwards, she may have harmony, right? She may have harmony. And I'm not against, like, spirit doesn't well, I don't know anything about the job, I can't say, but spirit doesn't mind. That's kind of nice. It's kind of like saying, should I go back to my ex? And you're like, no, man. It's like, yeah, but you could, it could be okay.
No. Run.
No.
Yeah, so that's what you're saying. Feeling it could be something good, actually.
Well, what I'm saying is there's a harmony there. I guess the first thing that came in was that there's something blossoming. There's the flowering happening. So I wouldn't close a flower and say go back in the ground because there's harmony there. It's like saying death is people who are like into death or something. It's like, oh well, it's peaceful. It's like, well, no, we're always birthing. You know what I mean? Like there's a spin there. That's really nice. Like she brings a really beautiful energy. Her work will have something to do with sharing. The work that wherever she lands, the work is about sharing.
Okay. That sounds interesting.
Definitely.
Yeah. Very good. Okay. And also, now Deborah has come back in with a question about her success with her writing. So here's the question. What does Joshua pick up as far as my success with my writings?
Wow, writing. Okay, so two pieces. The core, Deborah, this is Deborah?
This is Deborah.
Yeah, I'm gonna tune in there. So once again, I think this is a continuation of the similar energy. And this is for her to work with. Okay, you want to have this happen, you've got to let go of control. Okay, control. Writing is language is beyond. But I studied language. Because I wrote a book. I do this psychic stuff is feeling, right? Intuition from the body. So your writing is, in the end, energy in the word is God. It's just sounds and forms to express every sense possible, an experience, and also timelessness. So it's backwards, present, and forward in time. Language should give you a glyph of all time and all dimensions if it's the word, the highest word. Now, we still read it linearly. What I'm saying to her is control will limit the language of God to come through. And so you want success in your writing, it's got to resonate with people. You got to tell the truth. Control is the opposite of the truth, right? Because the truth doesn't care about control, really. It cares about leadership, guidance. These are masculine terms, which are part of manifestation. So you want to manifest, which is a masculine principle, not creating, which is feminine, but manifest, like bring in, boom, boom, right? You want to relinquish control. That's the shadow. You want to be flowing and lead. That will bring success. She wants to know when, how, what the success will be. She's got to let go of the burden, stress of writing. First, get out of the mind.
Yes.
Get out of the mind. Get out of the mind. The mind is the mind, meaning in this case, control. Same thing.
Oh, makes me stop and think about the fact that I'm working on a couple books and I can't get out of my own way. And I keep thinking, oh, I'll put it off till later. Will I ever get it done? Probably not. The rate I'm going.
Not like that, right? Oh goodness, writing is something all in its own world. I think it's really,
isn't that the truth?
Yeah, it really is. So, okay, well, I'm going to go next, and then we've got Bill, and I think we've got other people here as well. But I wanted to ask about this. We have a new grandnephew who's come into the family, into the world, and it's delightful. And I wanted to know what you pick up about his little life and who he is. His name is Noah.
Oh. Yeah, bringing like a peace, bringing a beautiful peace, but he's a little fragile, and he's bringing a little peace. Yeah, like a boat with a feather. So that person will be interested in information and will be interested in it being clear. So his teaching, the way to communicate with him is about clarity where the information makes sense. He's not interested in colors and intuitive spaces that are like more like poetry. He wants information.
Interesting. Okay.
And that's a nice way to nurture that energy, is like, you know, and he may be rambunctious and crazy. I don't know. He might be like, information, this kid can't even, you know, this little baby. Yeah. But as time goes on, the spirit is one that's interested in, how does information pertain to me making sense here so I can make something? There's something he wants to make. And it requires a very sturdy mind. Yeah.
Fascinating. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, you're right too, because he is a bit fragile. He was born premature, so you're absolutely right on the money about that. But his energy is very sweet, obviously. So
very independent soul.
I got that right away.
Yeah. So for me,
you can't tell people their babies or newborns or new family members are like dark beings that have come to like cause chaos and havoc.
Yeah, it was a demon. Where'd you get this one from? Right now, you don't that.
And here's your bring right off, right?
And he's not that way. That's for sure.
No, not at all. Not even slightly. No, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, blessings.
So for me, what do you pick up? I don't have a specific question. I'm interested in leveling up my game with the show and writing and everything else, but what's going on?
Creativity has to be flipped upside down now from what you thought it was. And anything that remains kind of in the ordinary has to shift. Now, you premised, I know this just as a person, I'm going to speak as me. Like, if you premise your show on the extraordinary, then your method of making, of relaying, of working has to become a little more extraordinary. But that's just me getting the energy of what's being called. And sort of similar to a lot of the readings tonight, and it's very much to do with the era we're in. I could just talk for hours on this, is sorrow has to be transmuted for your extraordinary energy to come in. There's no end to sorrow, grief, regret, doubt. Yes, we're happy people, we're lucky people, we're blessed people, we're graceful people, we're fun, we're awesome, we're creative, we're so lucky. But naturally, there's this energy of sorrow that it's very tricky, right? because if you really look hard at your sorrow, you go, oh, there's more of it than I thought. And yet I also am okay with it. So anyway, it's a funny one, right? It's like it's always hovering in the background.
Yes.
And amazingly, if you relax into your sorrow for a moment, and you're not going to fall apart. You're an incredibly strong being. Like, your joy energy being is like, it's more than you think. It's like, it's even more than you think. You know what I mean? I don't know how to say that. Like, people have told you you're joyful, you bring light to things, you're fun, and all the other, those are trite words, but good, these qualities that brought you to the spirit world, and it's even more than that. So this is the thing. We're always existing on what people give us, the feedback. Like, oh, you're creative. It's like, thank you, I'll take it. It's like, no. You're creative. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, thank you for telling me I'm creative. I'll be a little bit creative then. I'll make one piece of art. Thank you. It's like, no. And it's so for you, it's like the dynamism.
Mm-hmm.
You got time. Bring out the extraordinary.
Good.
Yeah, and the sorrow, it's okay for you to go like, do the thing, like do it again. Like if you're like, I won't do that again for 2 years. I won't let myself feel that. No, you're fine. You'll be fine. You just whatever.
Funny.
Grab the Kleenex. Have a shower. Go in the spa. Come home. You're sleep for a day. Extraordinary energy. Yeah. Yeah. So
sounds good.
and then it'll go.
And make room for more good things.
Oh, and not just more. Like your brightness it's got an extra. You want to make the show extraordinary.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I love sharing extraordinary with everybody.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Joshua. It's very helpful. So let's see. We've got to bring Bill on because he was asking for a reading. Bill is our producer tonight. So, Bill, here's your big chance to speak with Joshua.
Hey, Joshua.
Hey, how are you? Hi, Bill.
Good. Similarly to Patricia, general feel about what's going on around me and maybe near term.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. I like the masculine energy coming in. It's good.
Well, different from us.
All these women.
Yeah, no, it's a flip, right? Okay, so compromise. There's something going on you're gonna have to compromise about, and it's gonna bring a lot of healing, and it's gonna make you feel a little alone. But that's your warrior self's gonna have to pop up now. So something you don't want to compromise on, you're like, never gonna compromise on that. The deal is actually that compromise is gonna bring you healing, and you're gonna feel a little alone with it. And it's gonna make you wait for something. And then what happens is, so if you follow this prescription, right? If you basically make a compromise, think of what that thing is. Like, we never want to. So I'm sure you have a litigation against why I'm wrong. But like, compromise on that thing. You get the healing there. You're gonna have to wait a minute, but a thunderbolt comes in. Something real. Like, we want, everyone wants to win the lottery. Everyone likes fireworks. We want to evolve in 10 minutes. 5D, I'm done. Boom. And there is a way to do that. It always requires heading into the thing we don't want to do. It's like I don't want to return the text to that. I don't want to do that thing. You know what I mean? It's like, and I don't just mean being responsible. I don't mean that. I think you're responsible. I think it's fine. I mean, you got a couple things hanging out in the background. Who cares? So do I. I'm talking about compromise, where you go, hey, you don't even have to fully compromise. Just come to the table ready to compromise. Like, you don't even know. You might not even be met by a willing partner, because they might not want to compromise. But all I know is that if you bring that energy, It's like super. I'm not saying you're not fair. You may actually be. I'm gonna give a little reading here. You may give too much of your energy sometime. Kind of codependent. Kind of like if I give, I'll get a lot of love. So
Agreed.
I'm not talking. Yeah, and so I'm not. I wouldn't suggest that. I mean, we're all working on that, right? Like you are enough. I am enough. You know, like stop over giving to people just because they bully us, even in our heads. Let's stop that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about compromise. That's humility. You're like, here's my part. Here's your part. I'm at the table. Now, figure out what that is. I see a few different people, and I see one you don't want to look at, but there's nothing wrong. It's not going to be as bad as you think. Whatever. Who cares? You're going to get healing. It's going to take a little time. It's going to take courage. Boom. It's going to teach you courage again. You get a thunderbolt and rebirth from that. Spirit wants us to do those things. Like Spirit is only interested in evolution. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
let me ask you this question. Can what you just said have multiple meanings? In other words, there are different separate tiers affecting different parts of one's life.
Yeah, like I see it related to an individual. Okay, so there's always like, okay, you want to do what's called mundane. People do mundane astrology. I do mundane psychic readings. People are like, am I going to make money next month? I'm like, all right, let's go. Other people are like, it's a different scale. So all I know is when you unlock one piece, you unlock all the pieces. Like if I'm generous to my partner and I come out of, let's talk about that codependency thing. I come out of thinking if I just do the right thing, I'll get loved, and I come back into integrity. That hits my work. It hits my parenting. It hits because it's a frequency.
Right.
So that compromise, you just got to pick. But Spirit puts it puts a big one in front of us to learn it. Okay, so I could say bring more compromise to your life, but that's wishy-washy. It's like, okay, where's the thing that's asking you to compromise? And then you got to decide how to come to that with integrity. And so this is the reading coming in on this, but so the answer is it's going to hit all scales, but pick the one you don't want to look at right now.
It's funny you say that, and I'm going to let others, because there's other people that want, I guess, to participate as well. But it's funny because that recently just happened to me, what you just said. Okay. And on a business aspect, but on the personal aspect, that's why I said it. Does it have multiple meanings? Because that's also something on a personal level. So it's actually something that's happening on two different levels. So thank you. I appreciate what you just said, because it's definitely making me think about the thing that we're going through right now. Literally. So yes, spot on. And thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah. For me, yeah, absolutely. Problem. I love that. I mean, look, every time I show up but here's the thing. I'll just say this quickly. Spirit wants us to find the right antidote. You can't just say, I want to be a loving person. I want to be a good person, live by principles. It's like, yeah, we all want to do that. But there's something particular in every situation, and we miss it 60% of the time or 80% of the time. We miss it, and we think we're doing the right thing for ourselves. We didn't pick the right alchemy. We didn't pick that. In this case, we should be wrathful. In this case, we should be, because there's always an antidote, right? So it's called lojong in Tibetan Buddhism. You got to find the specific antidote to transmute, and then you grow. I'm always learning this. So anyway, I love that one about compromise. It's a weird one, right? Because it's like, where do you come in? Where do they come in? Not how do you fix it? It's you're only responsible for your part.
But I think the compromise is going to pay off highly in the end.
Oh yeah,
like you said, the lightning bolt.
Healing, lightning bolt. There was all this positive stuff. Yeah, all this positive stuff.
Well, again, thank you so much, Joshua, and blessings to you and your family.
Yeah, thank you so much. Right on.
That's great.
Joshua, you know a lot about chronic illness because you've suffered from it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And PK and I have had our struggles with that.
Yes.
What do you find about chronic illness? I know you've talked a little bit about it at the beginning of the show, but what else can you tell us that might give us the right antidote?
So, I mean, I said before, and you should probably consult a proper, health and astrology. Like my partner researches and she works in that space. And Patricia would have a lot to say about that probably, because if you learn someone's chart, you can really see the stuff they're going to be working with. But that's karma. Essentially you're looking at karma when you're looking at a map of someone. Sure,
Okay.
you're looking at the cause and effect that brought them into manifestation in the womb, this life. So now you go, okay, you got to be real. So when you look at your body this moment right now, you go, there was cause and effect that brought me into a specific parents. Then there was the energy that I felt once I was in the womb that gave birth to my nervous system. There was the astrology I was born under. So like that 100% affects everything to do with the formation of the body, in time and space. So you got to know this stuff a little bit. And then you go, okay, how was I affected early life, early childhood development? And you got to really track what kind of infections got into your system early. Energetic, parasites, interdimensional parasites, multidimensional parasites. Yes, there's bacteria. Yes, there's so-called viruses. These are like they're like reflections of subtle energy, right? So you go, okay, I gotta track it. We're being doctors. It's science essentially. You gotta really look for the thing. You go, okay, where was the shame where I became dislocated from my root and the rest of my chakras, where I didn't get to embody, grow, and move without a stutter in some place in the energy body. Now, okay, forgetting all that, you say, oh, that's too much research. Some people don't have that. They just go, well, I just know that there's something in my, whatever, the stomach or your gut, or you go, well, I have this inflammation thing that manifests as Hashimoto or whatever you want to do, any of them, autoimmune thing. What is that? It's the body responding essentially to rejection. The body feels rejected and is rejecting itself. So, okay, you go, well, now that I know that, I'm cured. No, you're not. It's just nice to know. But once you realize it, you can go, okay, well, what is, and then you can go, well, what does it feel like? You know what I mean? Like, what does it look like? You close your eyes. What does it look like for real? It's like, yeah, it's squishy. It's negative. I don't want to look at, okay, resistance. Right. So now you're getting somewhere with the quality of the dis-ease that's at the core and has manifested into the tissue, cellularly, the mitochondria is, reacting improperly, then into the cell, then into the tissue, then into the organ, then into your state of your being and into your actual mind. Then your mind starts to think weird thoughts, and then it reifies. It keeps rebooting the same energy signature. How do you do it? How do you heal? Everybody needs to realize that you cannot think your way into new ways of acting. You have to act your way into new ways of thinking. You have to act your way. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a good one.
That one.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the same with health. We have to do things differently to shift the frequency. Look, the wellness thing is not wrong about people saying you got to work out and keep your body strong. I teach Qigong and energy stuff and meditation. I'm a hardcore practitioner of moving. That's my main practice. I'm talking a lot here. Everyone's like, oh, that guy talks a lot. That's not what I do. My practice is not talking. I do movement, energetic biz, to change the epigenetic, multidimensional, multi-life patterns that have settled in my body. As a shaman in the Temescal, which is I'm finished with this. Temescal is the sweat lodge in Mexico. I did 20 years ago. Said to me, he popped out of the jungle before our thing, and he spoke in an Aztec dialect, and the translator was talking, and I didn't, I was like, oh, it's interesting. And then he suddenly spoke in perfect Oxford English, and he said, okay, what we're going to do today is transcend our DNA.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What an adventure. Yeah, that's very helpful. Thank you. And we have another person who has one question. I hope we can get her question in. This is from Tia B. Love. She wants to ask you, Josh, to check on energy now and moves she needs to make. And thank you.
Yeah. Well, the fighting has to stop, and she has to slow down at the same time for the move to happen. There is a teacher involved. Is she there to
Yes,
dialogue, or is that it?
Yeah, let's see if we can talk about this a little bit. You need to know something? What do you need to know?
Well, I don't need to know anything. She's dreaming of somewhere, but I'll ask her something in a second. She's dreaming of somewhere. And that in some ways is slowing down the process.
Interesting.
Okay, I'm getting some kind of block from her. There's a flow she's not going with the flow. There's something, it's kind of the same as a lot of people's stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's always down to the acceptance. But there's something there. Yeah, what I see is it's very she's got a dream. The dream is great. Like, we want to have a dream. I think that's beautiful that she has dream. She's a really powerful dreamer. She's a really powerful visioner, which is, I mean, some people can't even do that, right? So it's the key to manifestation.
Yeah,
it really is key to your own evolution, key to everything. I mean, really, we half the time, all of us here listening, remember, it's not a cliche. If you really do hold the feeling of the dream in your body, it will manifest. But her dreaming is almost slowing the process, changing the process. She needs to slow down and consult a teacher. There's someone who needs to tell her something. Maybe that's why she's asking me. Nope. She needs to go to the source. She forgot the source. So she's dreaming without connection to source. That's interesting.
Okay. Very good. Well, thank you, Josh. This has been so wonderful. I hate to end the show. This has been so exciting and so helpful to everybody. And again, I want to mention your book. And also, I want to tell people how to get a hold of you. So, The Realized Light of the 12 Dimensions, for everybody who would like to. Thank you, Bill, for putting that on the screen. It's a great gift, everybody. Be sure to get your own copy. And let's see, Joshua, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you so they can have private, extensive reading?
Great. Thanks for doing that. I got to feed my kids.
That's right.
Yeah, anyone who wants to do that, we can do clearings, multi-life, multi-dimensional, and real-time, real-life work. Get some stuff done for real. You can go to my emails, probably best. My website, people just end up asking me questions about, like, which reading is right for me. Just email me at joshreichmann@gmail.com. 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 And just ask me when I'm free. I'm usually booked a little in advance because the book got me some people, but there's always time.
There is. Wonderful. So what are your readings? Are they about an hour long? Is that what you do? Or half an hour? How do you do that?
I do 60 minutes, and I do 90 minutes if people want to do clearings and some big stuff. But an hour. Yeah.
Good. And what's the range of fees on that?
So for the time, because I only charge for time. I mean, I don't think you can put a price on the work, but I'm not just saying that.
Agree.
Like,
no, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, for my time, it's 180 American for an hour of work.
That's very reasonable.
Definitely.
Very good. Well, you're so talented, Josh. It's always a pleasure having you here. Got to have you back. You know that. So we will be doing that. We'll be reaching out to you again for another experience in hyperspace. It feels like we just had everything moving so quickly, but so powerful.
Too quickly.
Yeah, I know, really. So I'm not sure where we are in time, Bill. Where are we? I think he just told me we need to wrap it up pretty soon.
So, I'm going to ask another quick question, if I may.
I have to wrap. I'm sorry. Stay with us, Josh, though. And Bill's telling me I got to wrap it up, but stay on with us, Josh. So everybody will be back next week with another great show. And until then, we'll see you on the Blue Highway. Good night.
Good night.